I'd like to officially welcome you to Convos with Cody. I am your host, Cody Malloy. This is my first solo episode since I did my hard launch last week. I just want to throw this out there. Please, if you're listening, especially if you're a friend of mine, please hit follow or subscribe with whichever platform it is that you're using. It makes a big difference. Thank you. I just want to start by saying that I released 2 episodes with guests last week, and it took a lot to get me to finally, I guess, announce that I was doing this. Although I did tease this in, I think it was maybe about, well, I guess it was maybe end of August last year. And the fact that I've actually been able to get the wheels in motion now makes a big difference. A few things on the technical side. This is my first solo episode using my Shure mic, so the sound should be even better, even though I think that it was fine initially. And I need to tinker with my video calls because I found that with my Jacob episode, and I'll come back to that in a second, Jacob's camera quality was noticeably better. There's a lot of technical things about being able to do a video call in 4K. It's a little confusing. But anyway, I'm working on it, and I'm going to figure it out without getting too far into the technical jargon. I did release my first 2 guest episodes last week. First, Jacob Robinson. Went to law school with Jacob. He's the host of the Law of Code podcast. He's been doing it for 6 or 7 years now. Phenomenal episode. He's such a well-spoken guy. He did so much for me in law school. I considered him a mentor. He as also does NFL newsletter. Is a writer for The Athletic, and he has helped develop the most, I think, read NFL newsletter in the world. I might screw up the wording of that, but if you just check out the episode, he'll fill you in on all that. And then another conversation that I had was with Alvin Brown. Alvin is someone that I've known for 20 years, entrepreneur, just such a well-spoken man. He just competed in a big weightlifting or bodybuilding competition over the weekend. Go check him out. That episode was also pretty good. I spent a lot of time over this long weekend in August rebranding some of my social media pages. So if you go to my LinkedIn page, I have a new header up there. The YouTube channel has been rebranded. I created a Facebook page for the podcast too. So all of the videos that I post on Instagram and so forth will get shared there. In terms of the direction of this podcast, this is all driven by my curiosity, and I'm incredibly excited to hit the ground running. I already have 2 conversations lined up today, being the holiday Monday. I have one tomorrow, one Wednesday, one that I've talked about that can kind of be anytime. So I may have 5 more guests this week even. And in this game, it's just a matter of reps. So I recognize that as many of these things I can do, whether it's solo with guests, whoever it might be, I just need the repetitions to get better. And that's what any successful podcaster will tell you is it's a matter of putting in the work. It's a matter of putting in the reps. And I can tell you right now, I have so much fun with this. It's so easy for me to work on this stuff. And it's even at the point now where I find myself doing podcast work and just putting legal work aside. Of course, that's not urgent, but putting work aside that I could get paid for through my legal practice, I'm now being like, oh, I'll get to it tomorrow. I got to do podcast stuff. So I think that's a great sign, because if you can enjoy what you're doing, then it just doesn't become work. And I find that there's a lot less friction to, at least now, with getting a lot of this content out there. So I want to be very clear too, with respect to this podcast. First of all, yes, I'm doing this because I enjoy it and it's fun. And I enjoy being curious. The strength of every podcast, in my opinion, lies in the questions that the host asks. So I can put a ton of time into editing, who I have on, what we talk about, and all these things. But if the questions that I ask aren't good, if I can't drive the discussion well, then anything else that I do doesn't matter. So the whole podcast thing that I'm doing lies within the strength of the questions that I ask. This is, in my mind, a business asset. This is not a hobby. I am not doing, this is fun. I have a lot of fun talking to people, but I am doing this to help build a long-term business asset for myself. I want anyone listening to make sure that they understand that. I am serious about this. I digest way too many podcasts myself. And it reached the point where I said to myself, I know what a good podcast looks like because I listen to so many and I've seen them also develop. I understand what the good polished product looks like. In terms of getting to that, I know that I'm a long way from multicam setups and all these things that can make the production look a lot more sexy. But for now, I'm focused on developing great substance in the conversation that the audience gets value out of. And that value may be entertainment, that value may be education, the value may be just connecting with someone that maybe you relate to. So there are so many different directions that I can head in with this podcast. I'm incredibly excited about it, but I am not half-assing this. I'll be blunt. I don't ever, when I take something seriously, half-ass it. I may not succeed. I may not execute well, but I'm not here to half-ass this. I'm here to become the best in the world at this, quite honestly. If you go look at, and of course I'm a very far away from that and it's incredibly difficult, but go look at what Forbes just published with the earnings that the top 20 podcasters in the world make. Now, obviously, take this with a grain of salt and don't mean this too black and white. They're making more than athletes now. The distribution of these things is insane. So if I can, over the course of hundreds and hundreds and like I'm talking, what is this episode? I think 17. Like we'll revisit this at episode 500. Like it's going to take years and so many episodes for me to get anywhere. And I understand that. But I know that if I just keep doing this, I will get better and I will have fun with it and I will meet so many awesome people and I will open up so many doors for myself. So that's my mission with this podcast. And I hope that you enjoy it. If you ever feel compelled to give me feedback, good, bad, guest that you might think could be suitable, things I could talk about, feel free to reach out to me. And honestly, even if you don't have much to say, and again, whether I know you or not, if you comment on one of the videos, whether it's YouTube or a short form clip on Instagram, whatever it is, or DM, text, if you reach out to me and just say, hey, I listened to this, that was whatever, that was great, that was bad, I don't care. But if you just tell me, hey, I listened to this, it would actually mean something to me if you said that. And I'm not even necessarily talking about some of the people that have kind of listened to this from the beginning. And I know that you're listening, especially if I don't know you're listening, because maybe we don't interact on social media, whatever. It does mean a lot to know that someone out there listens to what I'm saying. And I also want to say this before I move on to my next topics. I am here to earn your attention. Attention is earned, and I have to respect my audience's time. I'm here to figure out how I can earn that attention from as many people as possible. And of course, just as with business, you don't necessarily want everyone's business. And that's something that I've learned in my own business. So I'm not trying to get everyone in the world to listen to this because that's just never going to happen. I'm trying to figure out how I can carve out a particular audience that resonates with my curiosity. Now, let's go into the next topics. About a week and a half ago, I guess we'd say, actually, it was the day that I last released a solo pod episode. So it happened later in the day. I went viral. Now, let's talk about this. How did it happen? Well, I'm doing a 100-day public speaking challenge right now. Every day, I post a video, at least 60 seconds, where I have to talk about something. The topic can be anything. It doesn't matter. over the course of this challenge, I believe, if I can just check my notes real quickly, I think I'm on day 57. Let's see. Yes, so today is day 57. I can tell you that I have gotten so much better at limiting my filler words and figuring out how to make a point and making hooks better and my short form clips and so forth. This challenge has already helped me, and I guess in a technical way in terms of speaking, but also in terms of a comfort level. But and I mean by putting yourself out there. But eventually, when you're constantly putting videos out there, you start to wonder, am I talking into the abyss? Is anyone listening to me? And eventually, sometimes when you put enough signals out into the universe, sometimes the universe will give back to you. And it happened. And here's what happened. I went and saw Mötley Crüe almost 2 weeks ago. It was Wednesday, the 22nd of July. And for my daily video the next day, I thought to myself, okay, well, what do I have to talk about today? Well, I went to Mötley Crüe last night. It was my third time seeing them, if I remember correctly. Had a good time. Let's talk about it. So I put my video out there. I talked for, I think it was about a minute and a half. I changed up my format a little bit. I put some of my concert footage as overlays on the video, which I think helped because the footage, because I was really close, was pretty good. And I know from putting enough music-related content out there before that each artist, especially the bigger ones, they will have a dedicated fan base online that loves interacting with, whether it's concert videos or videos of top 10 lists or whatever. Just they love interacting with people speaking about their favorite artists. So I knew that when I put a video out there about Mötley Crüe, that I would get a bunch of Mötley Crüe fans potentially see my video. Now, I didn't know how many people, but what I wasn't expecting was someone from the band actually seeing my video. And Tommy Lee saw my video. I don't think I tagged anyone in the video, but he saw it. And in my video, I said I enjoyed the show. I gave, I think, some fair criticism of Vince. I just said, to me, it sounded like they were lowering his vocals, and maybe there's just some notes he can't hit anymore, which is fine. It didn't bother me though in the show. I still had fun, which is all true. And Tommy commented and basically said, thanks for the kind words, and basically said that Vince had a nasal infection or something like that, whatever. So then, and I thought of this immediately, but then the next day I executed my daily video. And on Instagram, you can do what's called reply with a reel. So you can reply to a comment with a written comment, which is what most people do, or you can reply to a comment with an actual video. So in the reply, it takes you a tappable link to the next reel. And then in the next reel, if you want, you can tap back to the source comment in the previous video. And in my video question, I thought to myself, okay, and I'm being serious when I tell this story. I'm not embellishing, I promise. I thought to myself, Tommy commented, I said, I'm going to reply to him with a video, and I get one question. This is the game. I've been practicing doing daily videos. At that point, I think that was day 46, and then day 47 was the response. I said, I've done 46 videos. I've been practicing for this. And I had just listened to Tommy a month prior on Joe Rogan's podcast, and they were talking about Tommy Lee's obsession with bonsai trees. The whole discussion was fascinating. I don't need to go into it too in depth here. But I thought to myself, well, I'm not going to ask Tommy about music or just questions that everyone else asks him. I'm going to try to come up with something that's unique. And anyway, so I put a question out there in a video, in a reel. I tagged Tommy, and I just basically asked him a question about his bonsai tree obsession and how that basically counteracts the hectic rock star lifestyle. And this guy put a massively long comment on my response video, and he followed me. And it was crazy. And I thought to myself, this is a guy that I listen to, I'd say about once a week, maybe, whatever. And now we're chopping it up in the comments, and he's following me. And I sent him a DM a couple days later, and he replied to me. And And anyway, it was a crazy turn of events. Then I thought to myself the next day, okay, well, let's just stick on this. So then I did the same sort of video for 3 Days Grace, which I've always liked their big hits, but I've gotten into them much more in the last year or so. I've seen 3 Days Grace twice this year, loved it. And I said to myself, I'm just going to tag them all and see what happens. Sure enough, Barry Stock, guitarist, commented. Uh, Adam Gontier, one of the singers, commented. And Matt Walst, one of the other singers, commented and followed me. And then I did the same thing, replied with it real. And he gave me another comment and appreciated what I was saying. Anyway, the point is, I had put 46 videos out where basically, for the most part, no one really gave much of a shit, which is fine. And I expected that. It was more so for me developing my skills, and I understand that. And then all of a sudden, the universe starts sending you all these signals where you have these rock stars that you're listening to on a weekly basis, interacting with you on social media and following you. So it's crazy. So the point is, now look, I'm not done yet, but there were too many signs that I was getting where I was saying to myself, the universe is definitely trying to tell me something. It's trying to send me some sort of energy my way. So I'm just going to kind of ride that wave. Now, let's do some reflections in terms of what it's like to go viral. So I'm just going to go onto my phone here while I'm doing this, but my initial Motley Crüe review video on Instagram, well, Meta, because they merge views with Facebook and Instagram now. So it gives you one count cumulatively. So my initial video has 243 views on Meta and about 92,000 views on TikTok. So we're talking like roughly 335,000 views, because it's also on YouTube too. And I'm not going to go and check that, but just somewhere in that neighborhood and counting. That's crazy. Like, this is a video that I didn't think would do anything and gets at least 330,000 views on social media. So then the other thing I wanted to add is, did I get lucky? Yes. But let's be honest, I created my own luck. It took, as I said, 46 days of posting a video of me talking every single day to get to that point, whatever that point was. And I can tell you that even since going viral and I think my follower count in the month of July went up by 25%. Like, going up, increasing your follower count by 25% in a month. Actually, I think it was even less than a month. It might have just been a couple to a few weeks. But I mean, that's a sizable jump in relatively speaking, not that much time. And I've noticed too, ever since, so I've stuck a lot to talking about music now in my challenge videos. I don't only want to talk about music, but it is something that I'm passionate about, and it's something that's working. All my videos now, music or not, I can tell on my Meta are noticeably higher now. Like my video views are getting up there, and again, relative to what they were, especially earlier on in the challenge. So something's obviously working. So I'm gonna stick with that. And another thing that was funny, and I actually I didn't get many bad comments actually on these videos recently, but a consistent comment that I've been getting is I have a lot of people telling me that I look like I'm AI. I don't understand it. I'll have, because I had someone, a friend, comment privately to me saying, well, maybe it's because you look heavily filtered. I don't use filters. So there's two things that I can speculate in terms of why people think I look like I'm AI. And if you have another reason and you're still listening to this, please tell me. This is just my best guess. So number one, I'm shooting on a DJI Osmo Pocket 3. So I'm shooting in 4K. And so it's a higher quality video if you're looking at it on your phone than if it was shot on an iPhone. So it's much more clear. So I don't know if that is it. And yes, I do color correct in post-production, but it's just standard slight color correction. I don't do any heavy color grading. I don't put filters on. So I don't know why people keep saying I'm AI, but I do get a kick out of that. The last topic I'm going to touch on in the solo episode. If you're still with me, I'm not going to be too much longer, but I want to talk about the Odyssey because I saw it almost a week ago. I feel like I'm going to see it again. It honestly might be the best movie I've ever seen. It was incredible. If you haven't seen the Odyssey yet, please go see it. Please go see it. I mean, I saw it in IMAX. I know there's the whole 70 mil thing. I might actually be going to see it in 70 mil at some point. Friend has some tickets. Anyway, don't go see it in a regular movie theater is my point. I saw it in IMAX. Highly recommend IMAX. If you're going to go see it in 70 mil, great. Do not go see it in a normal screen. It's not going to do it justice. You got to see it on a big IMAX. It is absolutely incredible. First of all, just give Matt Damon the Oscar now. I think that might be his best performance. By the way, because I'm a massive Christopher Nolan fan, have we just taken stock of the fact that we have a movie where we have Jason Bourne, Batman, as in Robert Pattinson, and Spider-Man, as in Tom Holland, on the same movie? I mean, Christopher Nolan, I feel like he's the only director that could actually pull that off. But that movie, the cinematography is spectacular. Some of the best I've ever seen. There were a couple different shots I remember when I was watching the movie that I thought to myself, these are incredible. Without getting into spoilers, I promise what I'm about to say I would not consider a spoiler, but there's one particular scene, and I'll leave out most of the details, but if you've seen it, I'm talking about a scene where there's a gate that opens, okay? If you remember what I'm talking about, and again, just because I don't want to spoil it for anyone else, maybe later on I might get more in depth about this, but for now, all I want to say is that one shot when there's a gate that opens and then some things happen. I remember sitting there in the theater and watching that and thinking to myself, this might be one of the best specific shots I've ever seen. The way that they use music and they built up to the moment and everything else, I was just absolutely blown away. The acting in that movie is absolutely incredible. They don't use CGI. It's, yeah, you just gotta see it. The story is just so well told. In my opinion, it's another Nolan masterpiece. I don't see how it doesn't get picture of the year, but I mean, I stopped watching all those award shows ages ago. The Oscars, I think they're all bullshit, and it's all it's just all politics. I don't even mean politics. I mean, some of it is, yes, politics in terms of national politics. Yes, it is. But I just mean it's also inner politics within the whole system. And anyway, I find a lot of times that these award shows are just bullshit. So I don't watch them, but he deserves the utmost praise for his acting in that movie. I thought that everyone was incredible. You just got to go see it. It's an incredible story. There's a chance I'll go see it again in the theaters, as I said. If not, when it comes out on whatever it is that we'll stream it on, I'll watch that right away. I think it's just an absolute masterpiece of a film. I never got bored. I don't know what else I can say. Actually, there's one more thing that I can say about that movie is I mean, first of all, I've contemplated whether Tom Holland could be James Bond. I know Nolan wants to do Bond. He's talked about it. I don't think that he's getting it anytime soon. But oh my God, did they make Tom Holland just look so handsome in that movie? I mean, yeah, he is a handsome guy, and that's not like, I'm not saying that they made him look better than he is, but he's basically plays a prince, and they make, I mean, just however it is that they did it. And again, like I would say that about Tom, even just if it was walking down the street, he's an incredibly handsome guy. But just during the movie, the way that they frame him in all the shots, it's just like, oh my gosh, like they know exactly what they're doing. They did an amazing job. I'm a big fan of Tom. I think that his acting is incredible. I love him as Spider-Man. I've listened to him on Rich Roll's podcast. I've listened to him in other interviews and so forth. He seems like a genuine person. And yeah, I'm a massive fan. This is me now wrapping up the solo episode. I appreciate your attention. If you've gotten any value out of this, just, I'd imagine, would be entertainment at this point. Feel free to let me know. I love hearing that an episode resonated with you, and I'm very excited. As I said, I'm filming 2 episodes today with guests, and I have potentially up to 3 more this week. This is a volume game, people. And yes, there's a certain, obviously, level of quality that you want to maintain. But if I'm going to get better at this to the point where I know that I can just become masterful in the podcast game, to be honest with you, I need to do the reps. I'm very far from it, but I'm trying to get as many reps as I can done by the end of this calendar year. I mean, I certainly think, what do we have left? Roughly, we'll call it 22 weeks. So I should be able to get, I mean, 1 a week at minimum. That's not even a discussion. So at minimum 2 a week. So, I mean, I think I should be able to get maybe even 3 a week if I do 2 guests and a solo every week, 3 a week. I mean, I should be doing 50 to 60 episodes before the end of this calendar year. So anyway, this is episode 17. We'll see where we finish by December 31st. I appreciate your attention. Again, if you are not subscribed or followed, if you haven't followed it on Spotify, whatever platform it is you're using, if you could please do that for me, that'd be great. Thank you again. I appreciate your attention, and I will see you in the next episode.